yeah, that's the thing we got to talk about now. This is, well, this is the reason that I'm even on this stream in the first place. Normally, I am not live on Fridays. Instead, today, I am going to be live to talk about this. This is absolutely abysmal to see and hear and talk about. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Yeah, no, I don't want to be here anymore. I've already seen his face. I've already seen his face. There we go.
On the deal. That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make it.
You see the hatred he's got for Putin. I'm sorry, Trump, do you not understand that the hatred for Putin is because Putin invaded his country? I'm sorry, what would you call it, dumbass, if somebody were to invade America? What would you call it? What would you call your emotional response to somebody invading your home?
Deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, you know, him either.
Yeah, that's why they attacked, you fucking moron. I'm sorry, I'm not... The things I actually want to say about the United States president are illegal.
So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to...
You know, you say you're aligned with Europe, but your vice president literally went in and said that it needs to rethink all of their policies on free speech. And Nazis are kind of okay, actually.
Tough. I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so...
The only thing tougher is the leatheriest state of your skin.
Tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried.
Do you engage in diplomacy after they've invaded a country? Is that what you do? Did diplomacy stop the Nazis? Or was it tanks? Did diplomacy stop the Nazis, or was it Normandy?
The pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions.
So here's the thing. I actually agree with J.D. Vance here. I actually agree with J.D. Vance here. Wouldn't you believe it? I agree that J.D. Vance is correct in this exact moment. I agree with him. Because it's not just Joe Biden. It's the Democratic Party in general. And the idea that their words have some kind of merit outside of the impact that they are able to have. I actually agree with J.D. Vance in this exact moment. Because Biden did not do enough for Ukraine. I believe that. We should have just immediately accepted Ukraine as a NATO ally the minute that we had the ability to. That does not, however, mean that the actions that Vance wants to take are the right actions.
What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
So what happened to not negotiating with terrorists, or is that just an old, dead American ideal?
Sure. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied it, our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and
2014.
Yeah. So he killed.
Ah, yes, absolutely. Let's go ahead and correct the guy whose country got invaded.
not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What?
So at this point, I agree 100% with Zelenskyy. How do you negotiate with somebody who is currently trying to stomp on all of your rights? I'm not talking about the Republican Party right now, but, you know, I'm just saying, how do you negotiate with them? The answer is you don't. Anyway,
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going.
he's mad that a camera was on him when he held J.D. Vance to task.
Going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen.
So the answer is no, JD. The answer is no. You did not go to Ukraine. You don't know what's going on in Ukraine. You don't know what it's like in Ukraine. You didn't. Have you been here to see this thing? Well, no.
The stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that
The propaganda tour of breaking them, like, through actual fucking Ukraine.
you've had problems
What?
bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of the
will
United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot.
They're trying to prevent the destruction of the country by allowing the country to be completely absorbed by Putin. That's not the destruction of the country. Except it is. Every single person worth their salt in America, if America got absorbed by another country in this exact moment, would consider that the destruction of America. 100%. That is what Putin is trying to do. That is what Donald Trump is not trying to stop. He's not trying to stop the destruction of his country. He is actively accelerating it.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You will
Don't-
not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
You don't know that if Russia is allowed to continue harming people around itself, that eventually that's going to creep up to the United States? You don't know that a giant superpower gaining more and more ground eventually has to hit the U.S. shores? You don't know that? Shut the fuck up, you dumbass. Yes, we do.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
you're doing.
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influenced.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I was about
You
to
don't
say
have the
that.
Can you say something other than you're not in a good position, you fucking troglodyte?
cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What you're-
III.
what you're
You're
speaking
gambling
about?
with
What you're
World
speaking
War
about?
III. And
Yeah.
what you're doing is very disrespectful.
You're gambling with World War III, so you should just let all of your people die and get annexed by Russia. Do you think Russia's just gonna fucking stop Trump? Do you think they're gonna do that?
To the country, this country, that's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you,
your
far
country.
more than a lot of people said they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Why
you?
would he have to
today.
say? Why would he have to say thank you in the meeting? Why the fuck does he have to say it here? What have you guys done in this meeting worth him thanking you for?
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, so I know he's not able to do this, but I believe that the correct thing to do here is to slap Trump.
Your country's
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot of
answer?
talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I...
You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin.
Yeah, it would have been over in 2 weeks because everybody would be dead. Why is that a good thing, you fucking twerp?
In 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
that there,
thank you
accept
to
that-
American people.
Accept that there are disagreements.
So he just
and
wants
let's
them
go
to grovel.
litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight
This is a set of fucking children that just want somebody to grovel.
it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think
It's good to see that our president is a fucking joke.
it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire.
Of course, because the last fucking ceasefire was ignored by Putin. Why would you want a ceasefire now when you have historical evidence based on what happened in 2019 that it's not going to be respected?
I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop
The bullets aren't going to stop flying. No. A ceasefire doesn't stop the bullets from flying. It never did because it got ignored. It got fucking ignored. Much like I'm doing right now to anybody trying to get me to do a thing in the chat. It's not happening right now. This is just not happening right now.
the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
that wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
But this
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your-
I hate to tell you this, Trump, but did you know who was president when this all happened? Do you know when the ceasefire got ignored? It was in 2019. Now, granted, the majority of the issues have happened under Biden, yes, but that is not necessarily indicative of your good position, Trump.
President, it was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful.
Fucking, why does this have to be a media thing for you? Why does this have to be a media thing for you? That is him going, no, the headline should be this, everyone. The headline should be this. In the middle of the this face right here, this is exactly how I would feel. The fuck are you talking about?
Because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make because the attitudes have to change.
Then how do you change the attitude of the dictator who's trying to kill everybody?
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace?
Yeah, like they did last time.
I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops?
What the fuck is that stupid response? What? What if anything? Nah. What if they break the ceasefire? What the fuck is that response? This is not a fucking president. This is not a fucking president. This is a piece of shit who deserved to be a smear years ago. This is not a president.
On your head right now. Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton shift.
Why are you just throwing out names now? You're literally just throwing out names.
The Adam Schiff, it was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents.
Wait, are we talking about, are we back at Hunter Biden's laptop? Are we back at Hunter Biden's fucking laptop? How? How are we back at Hunter Biden's laptop? How did we get here? How? By what mechanism did we manage that? How are we at Hunter Biden's laptop again? What? What the fuck? How? How? How did we get here again? Did Trump literally just go, I need to think of every single conspiracy theory that we've invented against the left real quick. Hold on. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden dementia, Hunter Biden laptop, I'm gonna have a fucking seizure. My McDonald's diet is killing me. What the fuck? What even is this? What even fucking is this? By the way, there's actually an entire FBI area on their website about Russian interference in the 2016 elections. You should definitely read it. Anyway! Fucking hell. MI6 did a whole breakdown of everything Russia was doing to interfere with American politics. We know they fucking did. But okay. Said Trump needs to try to connect Biden with Russia. Yes, he does. There's a whole fucking fact sheet on gmfus.org assessing that Putin ordered an influence campaign aimed at the 2016 presidential election. They targeted the political right and the left, including Republican Senators Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, BLM, and the usual secessionist movement that always happens in fucking Texas. What world is this man living in? We can literally fact check him instantaneously. But he doesn't care. And you know why he doesn't care? Because you don't care. Not you, my audience. I assume y'all care because y'all have brains. You, as in conservative voters, don't care about facts. But we can change that. We can definitely change that. We 100% have the ability to change that. You and I together, we can start caring about facts and not about feelings. We can.
The whole thing was a scam, and he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with...
How do you not know? How? No. That's the type of thing to fucking hold him to the fire for. That's the type of thing to hold him to the fire for. If you don't know, then your intelligence sucks. Not just you as an individual. I think your brain matters better as a soup. But your actual intelligence committee that's job is to give you information. Your intelligence committee sucks. 100%. What?
With me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think?
What's this negotiation?
This is going to be great television, I will say that.
It's gonna be great TV.
We'll
Why is the lives of people who are going to fucking die? Why is that considered great TV? Why? What stops Putin from breaking this deal? He doesn't fucking know. Of course he doesn't. If you go to Truth Social, which I'm not going to be accepting the cookies for, but if you go to Truth Social and look at what Trump's response to this has been, we had a very meaningful meeting in the White House today. Much was learned that could never be understood without conversation under such fire and pressure. It's amazing what comes out through emotion, and I have determined that President Zelenskyy is not ready for peace. If America is involved, well, because he feels our involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations. I don't want advantage. I want peace. He disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he's ready for peace. And Donald Trump's version of peace is, of course, an agreement which fucking Putin's going to ignore, like he did the last time. What is this? Oh, ultimately, other than Trump saying, I need Zelenskyy to grovel at my feet. Otherwise, I'm not going to give you what you need. But when I give you what you need, it's not going to be the thing that you need. It's going to be the thing that Putin wants. Putin's version of peace is the eradication of Ukraine. And its subsumation back into the wannabe USSR. Trump's idea of peace is Putin getting one step closer to reforming the USSR. Yep. So what can we do about this? What can we actually do about this? Well, there is a great bit of news I have for you all. There actually is something that we can do about this particular scenario. And it's something that people have already been doing right now. And if you get together with your local chapters, for whatever political group you happen to assign yourself to, DSA, get on Mobilize. I've already gone on record multiple times to say how you can use these things. But there is a thing you can do. You can start stirring shit up. You can start actively fucking shit up.
Great question, and I'm glad you asked it.
Answer it!
Okay, I am very glad that someone is looking at all of the waste.
How can we be represented by you if you don't have a voice in Congress?
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already You are not a victim, you are a victor. And you will be able to get another job and provide for yourself and your family. I'm confident of that.
We are the hardworking federal employees that make this government run every single day. Yep. And we are being discounted by those in Washington.
So what is happening there before MSNBC tries to tell us what's happening there? That is various town halls across the country. Now, what is a town hall? A town hall is a meeting that is usually put forward by either the Republicans or the Democrats so that they can talk to their constituents. Across the nation, right now, there are people going into those town halls and holding their politicians' feet to the flames. But I'm going to do you one better. I don't think you should just do it at the town halls. The town halls are an open time for them to talk to everyone. That is one step. But I think we can start holding these politicians' feet to the flames even more by actively lobbying at our capitals. Actively lobbying against every single politician, Democrats who have failed us and Republicans who hardly represent us, and making their lives on the job a living hell. Wear them down until they have no choice but to fucking resign, because not a single one of them should have their positions anymore if they cannot handle their constituents holding their feet to the flames. I'm not asking you to work within the confines of our broken system for this. I am asking you to use the tools that our system has in it creatively. This is literal harass a senator time. And don't do it as an individual. Fuck that. Get involved with an organization that is willing to help support you in these endeavors. And do everything in your power while in that organization to shield it from the money that would corrupt it. Shield it from any, and this is from a conversation I've been having with somebody on the side, but there is an aspect of working within these orgs that we need to take into account, and that is shielding these orgs from the influence of money that would taint whatever messages they have. People who are far too liberal, trying to water down leftist messages, and people on the right who are just so compassionate, they just want to help out a little bit. But oh man, these conversations are a little too far on the left for me. If only you guys advocated for the center a bit more, maybe we could have some funding for your organization. Find ways to fundraise for your local organizations so that you can actually stir up some shit. And there are some times, as we saw with BLM, that those organizations may be needed to even fund things like bailouts, if things go far enough in that direction. I would hope they don't, but it is a possibility that any of us involved in any of this could be at risk. So it's definitely time to start harassing politicians. They have failed us, and we are their employers. It's time to start acting like it. Anyway, this has been a failure of the United States president, completely and totally. That all said, if you enjoy this video and everything that I do over here, please consider checking out these streams whenever I am live, typically Monday through Thursday. Please consider checking out my main channel, which is probably where you're watching this, over on YouTube, subscribing to that, hitting the bell notification icon. Consider supporting this channel financially by picking up the channel playmat over on Fourth Wall, or checking out the channel's Patreon. And if you want a break from some of the politics, maybe consider checking out my Magic the Gathering channel, which usually releases content Monday through Friday. That all said, that's as much as I can manage. Insert end of video tagline here. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really could not do any of this without all of you. Those of you watching, and especially those of you who support me on Patreon. I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to thank all of you who do that, because with YouTube being what it is these days, I really cannot do this full time without the support from each and every one of you. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Briskreek, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Tales of Atonement, Nixie Chan, Kiri Artemis, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. Thank you so very much. But since you're here, why not go ahead and try watching another one? There should be one that's on the screen right now. And if you are a patron of mine, I wanted to go ahead and thank you again for all of your support. There is still a video you could press though, if you'd like. I would appreciate it just a little bit.